Thanks for watching. I'm gonna open up with a short combat intro this video, and then we'll get into the teaching.
Starkey!
I'm blinded by the lights. I'm trying to find my way.
I thought the flares would help cover you guys. Maybe it was
It's fucking blinding with night vision, bro. It's like, whoa! I got it.
That was the idea of like they can't see, they can't shoot what they can't see.
I got him in the house. None of us can see.
Let's see these
Oops.
piloting skills.
All right, last call. Anybody want to ride? All right, let's do it. We got a bunch of people right next to it. We should probably just do a hot drop.
Do it.
Roger. You shred the gnar, bro?
Shred the gnar. It'll stick your gnar, brah, brah.
Shit.
Oh shit, oh shit. We got a bunch of peeps over there. Sorry. We're gonna land over here instead.
I like this spot better anyways.
Alright, happy hunting.
Okay. I got you.
You guys landing or you're shooting?
I'm gonna land.
I'm getting in with him. Build up my money a little bit. I spent like 300K the last 4 days.
God damn.
On Jeeps.
Alright, I gotta stop asking for those.
Peer pressure me, man. Then again, I'm also tired all night.
I got a lot. I kind of want gnarly to take me.
How did that just happen? How did I die?
Come on, Gnar.
Yeah,
Gnarly is probably the best pilot in this game.
Let's do
Oh, I
this
know
now.
he
You
is.
ready?
I've seen proof.
Yes. Yeah.
It's auth experience.
Let's fucking go.
Alright,
I've not,
Lozst, let's
I've
see
not
it.
seen you fly a Huey before now. I've only seen you fly the little birds.
That's true. I haven't seen you fly anything besides little
Man,
birds and the Russian.
I gotta tell you, I suck at flying the Huey. It's my least amount of hours in it. I maybe only have like
Dude, it's
10,
so
15
clunky
hours.
in comparison, man.
Man,
How
Lozst
many
here.
hours do you
Lozst
have
makes
now?
it look like a pro in the Huey. I'm here to learn on this one. I'm taking co-pilot seat. This is all
Okay,
Lozst. This guy does, he's over on the Heli Flight School server. He does a lot of the flight instruction and like helps train
Oh,
people all the
shit.
time. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Lozst here is like no slouch. He's
Right
got way more hours in the Huey than I do.
That's great.
All right.
Let me know if you enjoyed this intro and you want to see more. We're about to head back to the school and get started with the lesson.
Yo.
Oh,
What's up, boss man? How we doing?
doing all right. Just pouring myself a little drink.
I saw that, sir. You authorized to fly under the influence?
We'll see. May authorize to teach at least.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. If we end up upside down, I'm blaming you.
Oh, we'll end up upside down, but hopefully we'll live.
Oh yeah.
So how long you been flying?
Well, I've only had this game a good 3.5 months, and about 300 some of the hours of the fucking 500-600 I got flying.
Nice.
Plus, I used to have a Quest and I fucking flew and all that shit.
You're talking about the headset?
Yeah, yeah. A little different on the controller.
Yeah, I have track IR.
Okay, yeah, that
Hello.
sounds fun.
Oh,
Oh, you teaching Korean?
yeah. Come on.
Lol. That's so good.
Apparently he's learned it all.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead and start it up whenever, man. If you head straight on out, there's some landing pads we can go work on.
Oh, these?
Yep. So yeah, go ahead and set it down. See what's going on. Okay. What are you trying to work on today?
Mainly just combat landings, dude. I keep getting hit by fucking RPGs every time I try to go into land.
Yeah. What kind of servers you play on?
I do a lot of just normal conflict, but sometimes I play on servers.
Is
with
normal
West Coast
conflict?
WCS level.
Oh, okay. So like WCS and stuff.
Yeah.
Some people would say normal conflict is official. Here, let me take the stick real quick.
Oh, well, official, yeah.
So, so one thing that can help whenever you're approaching and you may be taking fire is, here, so check it out. A lot of people, when they approach nose down the whole way, right? Like they're accelerating all the way into spawn or wherever they're going to land. But if you nose up and throttle down a little bit early, then you enter something called steady state flight. And right here, your collective is super responsive, and it's actually really easy to dodge something if there's a rocket incoming.
Okay.
So whenever you practice landing, get into this moment of when like you start your approach, you're like, okay, so I'm gonna land up there, I'm gonna pull up early and glide in without losing a whole bunch of speed. And then if you have to, you can abort, but it also makes it where you don't have to pull up through a bunch of negative attitude to suddenly start your maneuver if you want to.
Okay, yeah, I see. You didn't gain much altitude at all when you pulled that.
Yeah, and you see how long I was able to wait and how quick it went because I kind of glided in instead of like doing balls to the wall. You have to pull up through a lot. You have to like kill all that momentum. If your nose is down, you have to pull it all the way up to neutral. Whereas if your nose is already at neutral, then you don't have to pull through all that. So go ahead and take the stick. This also works into getting super accurate, like if you want to be super precise.
I got you.
Yeah, you gotta feather that. All of a sudden it acts different. It'll take a couple tries. You on a controller?
Yeah.
What do you use for your collective?
Is it left stick?
Okay. The one thing I recommend, and it sounds like you've already got some hours in you, so it may not be best for you, but I always recommend, I always recommend remapping the collective to the triggers, but it's hard to change that. You can still, yeah, perfect. Yeah, so one thing I find is that using that kind of approach, it lets you have the most speed you can have if you have to bail out at the last second. Like it seems a little bit slower, but really, you know, because you're not accelerating in, but first you can respond fast if something's incoming, and second, like you can respond fast to landing, like the landing spot changing.
Right.
Because I don't know, if you play King of the Hill or something, like the landing spot can change at a moment's notice. You know what I mean?
Right, and then you're adjusting for what, fucking Point is important.
All of a sudden you're getting lit the fuck up. So work on so that time you did like a really long flare where you went up to
Whoa!
it's all right. I got you. So that time you did a really long flare where you like pulled up to like +10 and slowed down the whole time. Work on putting your nose on the dotted line there on your false horizon on the dash. Like put it at neutral so that you're not losing any speed. The idea is you don't want to be losing any speed as you're coming in. You just want to be in your responsive state for the helicopter.
I gotcha.
And then you'll see that your maneuvers happen a lot quicker whenever you do that. So just focus on getting that steady state first and then work on the maneuver. Yeah, right there. You see how you're not bleeding any speed?
Right.
Now, how responsive does your collective feel?
Well, I started fucking with the collective a little bit.
It's all right. It's all right.
But it feels really finicky.
Yeah.
Whenever you're in that hover zone, it's like your collective's super responsive up and down.
Yeah, finicky's a good way to put it because at first it seems like a lot to handle, but we're putting it there on purpose so that it's super reactive intentionally.
Right. So that we can gain altitude if we need to.
Yeah, you can gain altitude and peel off if something's incoming. Nice. Now, this time when you go to the other side, aim for the landing pad on the very end.
The left side or right side, or is it straight in the middle?
Pick your favorite. I don't know. Whichever one you like. Have you been on this server before?
No, I just downloaded everything for it.
This whole civilian side over here is all obstacles for practicing, and there's a ton here you can use to get better at doing fast drops. Yeah, see that one on the right? You see that one? Aim for that one on the other side.
Oh, the little. You're okay.
Yeah, you can do it.
Is there one on this side over here?
Yeah, on the right side. Yep. They're mirrors, so it's the same on the far side. And these smokestacks on either side are at the halfway mark too. So that's when you should start pulling your nose up to start your approach. Yeah, start it early. See how different that picture looks when you're coming in like that? Are you dead? You're dead.
I dipped it a little too far.
Just a little bit. I'm gonna pull out a new heli because this one's, the dial's gonna be broke on it.
Gotcha. Shit. Yeah, it's funky too because even just going in for a landing low altitude like that and keep maintaining low altitude, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm usually trying to gain altitude and then I'll go in from a high altitude to land, if that makes sense.
Yeah, see, and okay, so think about this. So one thing I would recommend checking out, I wrote a flight manual, okay, and it is worth checking out. It's in the Discord. There's a flight manual section, but there is a part in there that goes over this. If you're flying below the tops of the trees, it's really hard to see where the helicopter's at. And if you can't see where a helicopter's at, you can't shoot at it. Right?
Right.
So when I'm going into and out of a zone, I'm flying as low as I possibly can. And then that's why these landings are super flat, is because you want to be able to land low and fast. The vertical landings are great, but if you're up in the air, you're a bigger target. And anytime, are you familiar with the concept of silhouetting yourself?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so there's this idea called a military crest. okay, on a mountain or a hill. If you're traversing a hill, you don't want to walk across the top of it because your body will be a silhouette against the skyline behind you. So the smart way to traverse this kind of terrain is to walk a bit below the top of it. You still want to be high up so that you got good perspective and everything, but you want to
lag like a motherfucker.
it's all right. Here, I can teleport you. You still want to be like high up so you have good point of view, but you don't want to be at the top. It's called the military crest, and it's just below the top of the hill. The same concept applies for us, where we really want to stay as low as possible, because when you're in the air, you're silhouetting yourself and you're easy for everybody to see.
Right. So if you stay silhouetted where there's fucking back shadow, you know.
Yeah. Here, so let me take control real quick, okay?
Yep, you have controls.
Okay, so check it out. If we're gonna use this city over here to the left as our drop zone, okay? So now if you're going in there and then you're up here, everybody on the ground can see you against the backdrop of the sky. It's super easy. But if you're down on the ground, it's much harder to see you. And here, I want to show you, here's a good demonstration, even. So watch, check this out. I'm gonna spawn 2 Hueys real quick for this demonstration. Okay. I'll take a second. If it starts drifting, will you take the stick and hold it down? Okay, I've got the stick again.
You got all 3.
Thank you. Okay, so here, check it out. So I put 3 helicopters in the distance.
Yep.
Can you see them all immediately?
You can't see that third one. I see what you're talking about. It's covered by the trees.
Yeah. So you see the difference in, and even like against an open ground, you can spot it real good. Now the water definitely helps, but watch when we come down here and put these things against the sky.
Yeah, it's a crazy silhouette.
You see the difference there?
Yeah.
Like, but then now watch, if I just change the angle a little bit and we come over here where it's all trees behind them. Pick them up.
Yeah. It's hard to see them.
Does that make sense? So like,
It does.
your best bet is not being seen.
I got you.
Like that, 100%. And now let's thinking about that, let's plan our approach into the city. So we know we got to drop at that point. We know the trees are our friends. Open ground is not great, and getting against the sky is terrible. The water's not terrible. Like, so getting down near the water is probably a good idea. Any trees we can use for cover as we come into our point will be a good idea. But if they're in the city, we know that they can't see us down here. So we're going to stick to the water at first as we come in.
Right.
Then whenever we see the city up here, we're keeping ourselves as low profile as possible, entering our steady state flight. Whenever we're ready to set it down, we can pull off our maneuver and break the rotors just like that. But you understand what I'm getting at.
I get the process.
Okay, my head tracking went off right in the middle of that. I have this issue where sometimes I lean too far and then Dragon's like, what the fuck are you doing? But yeah. So hopefully that kind of made sense. Go ahead and
It
take.
did, yeah.
Go ahead and take the stick back and
I have all three.
there you go. And do some like approach practices. Let's work on that.
Gotcha.
And actually, it might be a good time to head over to the mainland and do some contour flight. Which that's basically where you're flying with the contour of the Earth, right?
Okay. Where's that at?
Yeah. So head straight now. Yep, you'll be good. Don't always get the opportunity to do the more advanced lessons, so I always appreciate the chance when I get it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, like basic shit, you know, I can perform a J hook and all that kind of stuff, but it's when it comes down to actually applying it in a combat situation, it just takes a little bit more advanced knowledge, especially with that kind of like concealment stuff. Most people think flying, and they think
the sky is safe, right?
Right. They don't think, oh, I'm gonna conceal myself.
Yeah. So now that you've seen the difference in concealment, like, what's your plan for staying concealed? What do you see?
Well, like if I was right here and I was going into that city, the one on the left there.
Yeah.
I'm below horizon now. They can't see me past those trees.
There you go.
Right.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep trying to keep on these tree lines so I can get
exactly
somewhere where I can put it down, you know?
And you want to expose yourself for the least amount of time possible, right? So now there's a couple different ways we can limit our exposure. When you're ready, level off, and I'll take controls back, and then I can show you.
You have all three?
Okay, let me get my squared away. Sometimes it's okay. I'm taking the stick now.
No worries.
Okay, so now let's talk about different methods of landing, right? So one potential thing you can utilize, let's not kill this guy real quick, but you can totally come in and yeah, we can utilize our death really quick. Oh yeah, see, that always confuses the enemy, so that's my go-to.
Shit, dude.
Let's try this again. What's up, man?
Oh yeah.
I'm grabbing the stick.
You got all three, brother.
Good luck, bros.
Thanks. I need it, apparently. So yeah, if you have the choice, sticking to trees is your best cover. Second best cover is the water.
Gotcha.
So if you're flying like this, you're hard to see. You're like impossible to see for anything above you. You're hard to see for anything on ground level, unless they just have a perfect visual on it.
Right. Minimize. I mean, noise you can't really minimize.
No, but if you're up here, everyone can see. Fucking everyone.
Right.
And one thing you'll know, I'm sure you've noticed on the ground, if you can't see the helicopter and you're hearing it through trees, I feel like the game does muffle the sound.
Yeah, I did notice that.
So like if they can't see you and the trees are muffling your sound, they're not gonna know where the fuck you're at.
Right.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to kind of show you is strategic combat landings. We can always do this.
Oh, to slow yourself with the water? That's crazy. I've never seen that. What?
So
That's new.
the faster you can drop and pick yourself up, the better, right? And often if you utilize the water, or if you can utilize the water, then you can be down, get people out, and be off before anybody even notices. And then
Gotcha.
the thing I was attempting to show you earlier is that you don't always have to burn off all your speed to come in and land.
I've done that. I've fucked around at the runway and just done full fucking like airplane landings and helicopters.
Yeah. So one thing that I'd recommend is practicing contour flight. And you know, that's just flying low and fast, and really you're only presenting yourself to people in the immediate vicinity. As long as you're not flying straight at or away from somebody with the rocket, you're fine, right?
Right.
But we want to, and it feels weird because a lot of times when you're doing this, you're going to want to be a little bit lower than you're comfortable with, but it helps if you're in steady state flight, and you'll accelerate, and then you'll pull up and you'll enter steady state flight, and you'll constantly go back and forth between this to stay low. But right now we're impossible to fucking see.
Right. Yeah. No, I do the treetop thing, and it scares the fuck out of everybody that rides with me.
Yeah, definitely. So so yeah, utilizing like good entry and not exposing yourself too much before you decide to pick a place to land. And then I guess the main other thing to touch base on is when you're landing, it's much better to land right here where your troops have somewhere to run to than out here.
Yeah.
And it can
I'm
be the
with you on that.
difference between life and death for them. Like it really can.
100%.
Last little bit, at night operations, when you drop off your troops, let them know beforehand that you're immediately going to flare, and then pop your flares as you fly away.
Right.
Because it fucks up everybody's night vision and they can't see shit.
Hell yeah.
So if they know, then the area is going to be lightly lit for them, and they'll be able to rush into the trees knowing that. But anyone who's looking at you with night vision and is ready to light up the area is going to be immediately blinded and have to change their night vision off. We'll only give you so much time, but like I've had it give them enough time to get to cover and take a point, right?
Right, right.
So here, you take this back and let's practice some contour flight.
I'll go through. It's a 19 Delta in the Army, so I did the scout shit on the ground. But I love flying, dude, and I look back and I wish I would have just went to college and did the warrant officer thing.
I know, right? Yeah, yeah. Do you mind if I take the stick?
Yeah, you go ahead. You got all three.
Okay, so let's see if the controls are okay. They're not broke. All right. There's Arlen down there. Okay, so check this out. This is the lesson that kind of blows everybody's mind. And I don't care how many hours you have. Usually people haven't figured it out. So normally if I'm turning left, I would then anti-torque left to turn a little bit tighter, right?
Right.
Okay, now watch. So if I'm holding this left-hand turn and I anti-torque to the right, watch what happens.
Wait. When you say anti-torque, what are you pushing a foot pedal?
Yeah. So hold on, I'll explain this even better. So now, if you look down at the bottom left dial there, the one that looks like a level, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've never used that in my life.
Yeah, okay, so what that's called is a turn and slip indicator. Now, the top part is the turn indicator, the bottom part is the slip indicator. What the slip indicator is, and that's the important part right now, is those two white lines are the body of your aircraft, and the tail is, or sorry, the ball is the tail of your aircraft. So
Okay.
when I turn, you see what happens to the tail?
It wants to slip right.
Yeah, yeah. So what's happening is that tail slips out to the right because of momentum. It's increasing drag and slowing you down.
Okay.
Anytime the tail's not behind your body. So in an actual helicopter, we would fix this by stepping on the ball. So if I step on the ball here, I can push that tail directly behind the body and hold it. And then that lets us roll a little bit, and then I can turn by pulling back. Does that make sense?
Kind of. I'm a hands-on person, so
Yeah,
I got
take it.
controls.
Yeah.
So
First kind of just play with pushing your tail out to the side. Like, look, see how the ball interacts. You might have to burn a little bit of speed because we're going pretty fast. Like, stay between 60 and 80 knots, and you'll see optimal effect.
shit.
Yeah, so you're anti-torquing the opposite way that you're turning.
So I should be doing that.
Yeah, yeah, you're doing it. Now roll a little bit and start pulling back. Yeah, see, that's going to change the angle of your turn. So, yeah, okay. You're getting the feel for it. But keep playing with it.
Okay. Maybe.
And you're going to anti-torque to the left now. Yeah. And you'll feel, because what'll happen is the weight will swing down into the bottom of your skids, and instead of leaning to turn, you're going to pull straight back. Now, don't worry about keeping the tail directly behind you. If you're trying to do a tight maneuver, just like throw it all away and then pull back.
So that little ball down there.
Yeah.
When I kind of, a couple degrees to the right, and I'm leveled off,
Yeah.
and I'm torquing left, pushing left on it. So
Yeah.
that ball's going to the left side.
Yeah, so whenever that ball goes directly behind you, now you're the most aerodynamic you can be. And the reason this is important is because when you're escaping, you need to modulate your anti-torque opposite your stick in order to fly the fastest that you possibly can. And that's the meta on all of these race courses. That's how all of these guys get these impossible times, is by stepping on the ball.
Stepping on. So, all right, that's a good fucking 80 knots. Bring it down a little bit. Now, if I start my turn to the right,
Step on the ball and roll into it a little bit, and then start pulling back. Roll more, pull back. There you go. There you go. Your nose was a little high. You want to try and keep you want to keep your helicopter as flat as you can in the maneuver. And I guess you can do it at different angles, but I guess it's best when you're learning to do it flat, so you can get the feeling of swinging the bottom of the helicopter, or the weight into the bottom of the helicopter. Throttle up the whole way. Throttle up the whole way. This is a throttle up maneuver.
Throttle up the whole way.
Yeah, we're moving fast. We're keeping our speed in this maneuver. We don't want to lose any speed, so we're throttling up the entire way. There you go. Now pull back. Now flatten out. There you go. That's how you turn fast.
Okay.
And this is important because when we're learning contour flight, we've got to turn like this to maintain our speed, especially if we're being pursued and shot at. If we're not giving them a good shot, then we need to fly in a way they can't keep up.
Okay, I want to try a little closer to the ground now.
Yeah. This one is really good to practice in the courses, and actually there's a place we can practice this really well. Yeah, you'll feel that
Oh,
weight
sorry.
swing
You got-
right into the bottom.
You got controls then.
Okay. Okay, I got the stick. So, yeah, so check it out. If I come lower, and I push that anti-torque opposite, see, then we can pitch the weight directly into the bottom of the helicopter. And that's opposed to if I do it without any anti-torque. Watch this turn. It burns off a lot of speed, as opposed to
That's true. You just lost a ton of speed.
yeah, as opposed to now anti-torque in the opposite way, pulling off the same maneuver, and then anti-torquing back to get it leveled out. You can burn, or you lose speed at a slower rate and at much more consistent rate. And if you can keep it without like this, without really what am I trying to say? I don't know, you can maintain speed better in a tighter turn, I guess is what I'm trying to say. See this?
Okay, without like over pulling.
Yeah. Without
I see
stalling.
what you mean, without like over rotating, so you become
Yeah, because we'd be stalling. Like, watch, I'm gonna let go. You see that when I let go of the anti-torque?
Yep.
How crazy that difference is. All right, anti-torque opposite way again.
All right, we're also low enough. We're almost low enough to be getting ground effects. How does that affect?
Yeah, so at this speed, it's very minimal. We're talking like a knot, or like not even a full knot, right? But what ground effect is really good for in Arma is this actually, because it goes into getting in and out real fast. So we can land on top of ground effect. So there's like a little cushion that we can land on and rely on pretty consistently. And then whenever we're taking off, if we stay low and accelerate out, then we can utilize it to gain the most speed possible on the way out.
I see that. Okay.
And while it's not as strong, ground effect does work a bit on the treetops.
Okay.
But you'll notice, so here, watch, and I'll show you kind of the difference of ground effect at top speed. Okay, so I'm just gonna accelerate and maintain altitude, and we'll see where it kind of tops out at. Oh, wait, hold on, we're going towards the PvE area. Let me rotate. See, I'm stepping on the ball so I don't lose a whole lot of speed. I'm not stepping all the way. I'm well enough. And then you can see we're still not losing a lot of speed, so I'm gonna let go as we straighten out. Sometimes it's good if you need to straighten out in a hurry, push it the opposite way and it'll force your nose back. Okay, so level flight, we're hitting 100 knots, right?
About 95.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Okay, so now.
Wait, 110?
Okay, now watch. I'm not gonna point my nose down. I'm gonna use down collective to get back down into the ground effect, and then I'm gonna start accelerating again. Now ground effect will allow me to point my nose down a little bit harder when we're down here, and also look at our speed.
Generating more lift. Yeah, gaining way more speed. That makes sense, actually.
Now watch, as I'm just gonna pull up enough to where we gradually pull away from the ground, okay? And watch our speedometer, or altimeter, or sorry, airspeed indicator.
So we're maintaining airspeed, but it's slowly going down.
Yeah. Watch, the further we get out of that ground effect. And I'm trying not to pull the stick back real hard so that it I don't burn off any of the speed. This is just us falling out of the ground effect, because the aircraft will maintain speed for a little bit, and then that ground effect wears off, and we're kind of back to where we were before.
Okay.
So ground effect helps you in two ways. It helps you speed up faster, and it helps your top speed. Now the effect is minimal. You saw the difference. So now we're back kind of at what the top speed was before, right? If the effect is minimal, but here, like if we use that S turn. Oh, sorry. I could call that an S turn, but that's stepping on the ball in order to do that. And then you can turn and gain speed if you start high and come out low. That makes sense. And that's called a split S turn when you do that. But yeah, so now let's go back down close to the water and see what we can do again. And there's like a cushion there. You can see like I'm barely touching the controls. I'm not touching the controls. Like every once in a while I pull my nose up there. And you can see it's gradual, but there are benefits, right? Oh, you get kicked.
I have returned.
Yeah, I saw you got kicked. I don't know. I think that kind of, yeah. I think that kind of demonstrates the that point though. And then
yeah, ground effect.
Yeah, and then another one here that I'll show you with ground effect. So like we'll start from here, and let's see how fast we can accelerate without it. We'll use the end of the runway there, right? So I'll come up here, and then I'll try to stay level, and then we'll try to see the difference here. Lost a little bit of altitude. Okay, we got up to about 70, almost 70 before we crossed over that wall. Now let's see the difference with ground effect. Oop, I don't touch the ground. I touched the ground.
Still got up to 70.
Yeah, I burnt off some speed there. So it's kind of minute, really, but the important thing is it's always faster than doing this, and I'll demonstrate how much slower this is. Going up and then accelerating is always going to take more time off the ground flat. Than going forward and then lifting up.
Right.
And you'll just get up to speed quicker if you don't hit the ground like I'm doing. But
yeah, I mean, shit, you hit 60 knots before you got out of the courtyard.
Yeah, and it's not a lot, but you know, it combined with the fact that staying low keeps you safe, like it's worth chasing in combat as long as you can do it safely, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, prioritize just getting everybody in and getting out so you can get more guys in.
Yeah. If you can stay low, then anybody in that city like had to be on the edge of it to shoot at us. Now let's watch the difference. And you can use your anti-torque to help you climb in a turn faster too.
Okay.
But now I'll watch the difference. If I'm coming in high, look at how many people in the city can see us.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's rocket heaven.
Yeah, anybody in the city can see us. It doesn't matter how cool of a maneuver I pull off.
Right.
Like I'm a target the whole way down.
Yeah, and then fucking 15-second down.
Yeah. And I feel like I did that fast, right? Like I wouldn't say I did that slow. So yeah.
No, I mean, hell, it's just a lot faster the other ways you were showing me.
Yeah, to get in and get out, and that's your top priority. Landing low, flat, get them off, stay low, and get out. And oh, yeah, so like that entry is like a good example of the way I love using terrain, right? So
Yeah, I watched a video of Gnar. He fucking was playing on this like snow map, and he kept diving off that
yeah.
bridge.
Yeah, see, if you can come
Yeah.
in like this, you know, you got to get up here, but you're coming in low. Look, nobody can see you yet until right about here. And now you're this much of your maneuver is exposed. Get out, get the fuck out. All right, let's go. And, you know, you were exposed for 15 seconds there.
Right, maybe. If that.
Right? So that's, and you notice whenever, in order to achieve an approach like that, coming up over the hill, the only way to do that with any amount of control is to come low, enter that steady state flight, and then cut it up the hill into more steady state flight and get ready, kick it out, and crash just like that.
Right. Just like that.
Yeah, there's a difference between flying low and flying too low, I guess, but you get the point.
We both did it. Now we're even.
Yeah, here, you take the stick back and fly it back.
Yep, I got all three.
We figured out stepping on the ball, and that allows us to turn at a sharper angle. Now,
Right.
this leads in to a series of lessons, but the first of which is preloading your tail. And so now, landing the way that we've been landing, coming in low, we level off early, glide in instead of speed in, and then do our flat landing. Set it down quick. Okay, so that's like my goal of teaching beginner students. Once I get them there,
Right.
we start working on the advanced concepts of preloading your tail. So this time, instead of pushing my anti-torque left, I'm going to start early and preload my tail by pushing my anti-torque right. So I'll go ahead, level up. I'm gonna start my anti-torque right already. You see how I'm twisting the bird?
Yep.
And then come in, flip it over, and you see how much more agility you get out of it. Now
Yeah, dude.
check.
You just got flexible.
Yeah, so now check this out. Now sometimes you have to speed all the way in to the location, and if you're still putting it down between buildings, then if you preload your tail first, kick it up like you're going off a little skateboard ramp, and then flip it around, then you can do that tail overlanding and come down between two buildings just like that. And that's through preloading your tail. Now we can take that a step further, and that was pretty much like a half flick. Now if I do a whole flick, watch what we can unlock. So once again, coming in this time, we're speeding in the whole way. I'm gonna preload my tail, pull up, down collective, and do the full flick right here, up collective, push forward, and then you can down collective the rest of the way and land. And if you time it right, it'll look a lot prettier than that, but it's worth practicing.
Oh shit! I don't think I've ever seen anyone do a full flick. It was always J-hook.
Right, and so this it's funny because I learned that one time. I guess Wolf got Arma Pilot in here to do certifications, and this is how he completed his first certification, was doing this corkscrew. And so I spent the next week, I was like, how the fuck do I do that? I've got to learn it.
That looks fun as fuck.
Yeah, so, and that's just preloading your tail, and then whipping it the other way. And then the third thing that's important is your collective control, because you're gonna have to up collective and nose down in order to level off. So like, in order to enter something like that, I find this kind of bank angle, I anti-torque the opposite way, pull my nose up, then kick it out, collective down, collective up right here, nose down, and set it down.
Okay.
So like, that's just like another step on preloading your tail but all that's to demonstrate how beneficial that stepping on the ball can be at the beginning of your maneuver.
That makes sense.
Go ahead and try.
Level 3.
I don't have much longer tonight, but I feel like I've given you enough to think about for now.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We can also always do more later.
Oh yeah. Reloading the thing.
Here you go. Now up collective. Yep, and down.
Oh, shit.
And back down. Nose. Yeah. Yeah, so you feel how you have to push the nose forward there, and then you've got to like kind of counter correct, but a couple times and you'll have that one nailed. That one's actually, I feel like, fairly easy.
Yeah, that fucking... I felt the way the bird was wanting to get kicked back on me.
Uh-huh, yeah. Up collective. Yeah, it's really about that up collective timing, and you're gonna have to up collective go like, okay, so you'll down collective, go neutral, up collective, go neutral, down collective, and then positive at the end. It's like you're gonna rock back and forth through it because you have to rock into up collective in order to fully level out, and then you rock back into down collective to land through ground effect. So if you do it right, you'll park right on the ground effect.
That was too slow.
Here, let me take the stick real quick. Sometimes it's better to see. Okay. I got the stick. Okay, so check out the difference in my approach. Because you're doing it really flat. You're doing like a pop shove it. We're doing like a kick flip here. So what I'm doing is I'm banking a little harder, pushing that tail in, up, and then from right there, flipping it around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My difference in the explanation. Okay, one more time. Yeah. So we're gonna roll. This is the opposite of what I always teach everybody, because everybody's at a different part in their journey, right?
Right. Right.
I'm usually telling people to keep it flat, but our objective is to get to 90 degrees where our tail has the most authority. So right here, 90 degrees, tail has most authority. Now we can flip it around, up collective and down collective.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep, I have controls.
And you know, I mean, this one looks good on TikTok and stuff. I always go to the more safe landings, especially in combat. But hell, I take the approach that I want every landing in my tool belt. Like everyone's another tool in my belt, right? So
Right.
a little bit higher, but that was really good for a 180. You just so the difference is, so pull up about 30 degrees like you're coming off a skateboard ramp. Hold it for like 2.5 seconds before you kick it around.
I got you.
You want to roll completely 90 degrees and then kick it around and down collective. There you go. Now kick it down collective. Yep. Up collective. Down collective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See?
Okay, I'm getting that. It's just all practice, my boy.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, but you see it now.
Yeah, I see it. There's a very tight pivot point there. That's why you need the tail authority.
And honestly, if you let it go to neutral first, it'll pivot faster, and then go into up, and then go back to down. Right? Like, you see the difference in how it pivots when you're at neutral as opposed to up collective.
Yeah.
So harness that. That's why I said you're gonna walk through neutral into up, then back through neutral down to down. And this is one case where you really want to be independent of your up and down throttle. So it's, you know, like that works for your style.
Right. I get it.
It's just the hard part with having your yaw and your throttle on the same stick is it's hard to have 100% control of each of those things.
Right.
Nice, dude. Yeah. That was it. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get this one down perfect.
One more. Let's see. I need a little more height, and I can do it.
Yeah.
Staying low, still thinking about the skin. Start approach. Reload the tail.
Go up and down. Nice.
Yeah.
Not always practical,
learn
but you know
something new
what? One
today.
to, it's a nice one to pull out sometimes.
Right. Fuck yeah, dude.
So, here, real quick, I'm gonna pull out a little bird. I'll give you one last little look, and then I'm heading off for the night. So. You picked this up pretty quick, so I'm gonna just kind of wrap up all of the tail movement in a nice little bow for you for the night.
Fuck yeah, especially because this thing's maneuverable as hell.
Yeah. See, now the reason I teach it in the Huey is because, you know, it's more difficult. Like, it makes you actually learn the mechanics. Whenever you,
Right, it's gonna have to.
yeah, whenever you can do it correctly and take it back to this thing, then all of a sudden it's a whole different ball game. And now flying through this course without any tail movement is damn near impossible. But if you step on the ball the whole time, then you'll see it's actually not that hard.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Here I gotta use that anti-torque to rock myself through the middle. Step on the ball.
Okay.
And you see how I'm maintaining my speed?
Yeah, you're not losing speed in turns like you normally would.
And if you can start high and end low, then you'll even do better, right?
Yeah, that's because airplanes glide on the air and the helicopters beat the fucking air in simulation.
Yeah. So, practice stepping on the ball in there with the little bird. Once you get to where you're comfortable stepping on the ball in there, come over here and practice this one.
God. Maintaining speed throughout a sharp ass going.
Yeah, so practice that. Practice stepping on the ball in there. And the last place I'd recommend practicing stepping on the ball is first come up here, practice on these dive towers. And so step on the ball, roll over, flip your tail out, down collective, and we enter like this.
Gotcha.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're starting by stepping on the ball, and then when we hit that 90 degree, just like earlier when you were learning to roll it around with our little kick flip, you flip it over and hold down collective there, and then you enter that dive. So here, look, anti-torque right, roll left, down collective, and we're entering the dive, and then up collective if I need to move it forward, down collective, and up collective to rotate. So there's a few ways to rotate. You can let go of both collectives to rotate, but that could swing you into the wall. So if you hold down collective and tap up collective, which I know is not something that you can do, it'll rotate you a little bit better. But just keep in mind, you'll rotate quickly if you let go, but if you push it into positive collective, you'll swing into the wall guaranteed 100% every time. So just keep that in mind when you enter. And that opposite collective allows me to rotate, get into the right position to swing out of there. And
Okay, I got you.
and so I would recommend trying out our certifications. We do have like I built a whole certification course that's designed to kind of build or like teach everybody this stuff. And one of our certifications for the last level is this test right here. We call these the silos, and you have to do 3 landings in 1 helicopter, and they have to be S-turn landings. And so here's kind of how that ends up looking there. So once again, we've got a anti-torque right, roll it over, jump collective, up collective to rotate, and set it down in the silo. And you got to do 3 of those in 1 helicopter to pass this specific exam that I'm talking about.
I'll probably do that. That's not. I'm probably just being cocky, but I think I could do that.
Yeah. So the point of this is that you complete an S-turn, right? So the important part that the instructor is going to be watching for is you pushing your tail in, pulling that nose up, rolling it over, down collective, and then rotating it as needed, right? So
Right.
just like that.
And then crash.
So it's 3 successful landings in 1 helicopter. So as long as you make it on the ground alive on the 3rd landing, then you're good to go. Pilots carry a gun for a reason.
That's right.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. I think that's plenty for you to think on. I'm gonna give this this course up here a try, and then whenever we die or finish, I'm heading off.
Awesome.
This is probably the...
I really appreciate it, boss man.
Yeah, of course. Glad that you enjoy the content, and hopefully you got value from our lesson.
Definitely, dude. Be fucking hot dropping people like no tomorrow.
Hell yeah. If you come up here and get the record on this course right here, you'll get the Leviathan title in this server.
Means I gotta beat you, right?
No, I actually don't have a time on here. I'm a busy guy. You see the oh, you can't see. There's a guy named Bay Harbor Pilot that currently has the record in here, and it's 12 minutes 27 seconds.
Oh, that's dope. It's like full scale classroom and shit.
So these pipes don't actually clip. That's the only thing that doesn't clip on here.
Okay.
I let everybody know so they don't find out the hard way.
Right.
Hey, Rack.
Yes, sir.
Hey, apparently that's my sign to get off for the night. But the helicopters are over here. There's some helipads on either side. There's one on that side and there's one on this side where you can spawn some helipads.
Appreciate it, dude.
Check out the container landings all around. I built them to simulate like landing in between buildings, and they start by the docks over this direction, and then they progressively get harder as you go around. And
Awesome.
they're meant to, like, they start low and then go high so you can progress through them. They're all used in the tests, so if you work now on it, then if you want at some time to do the certifications, then you'll probably just ace it right off the bat.
Hell yeah. Sounds like a plan, boss.
Well, cool. I enjoyed our time.
Awesome.
Hope
Hey,
you...
have yourself a good night, buddy.
Yeah. Take care, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again for watching. If you made it this far, like and subscribe.